Sometimes we don't notice how little messes around the home quietly build up stress in our lives. A pile of unread magazines, decorative pieces we never glance at, or a drawer full of random items. These create invisible weight, making both your space and mind feel edged, chaotic, and weary. Today's video will walk you through clearing those hidden burdens so you can invite peace, clarity, and ease into your daily life. My hope is to spark a new way of seeing your rooms and encourage you to begin decluttering gently, step by step. We'll go through small items you can remove or repurpose right now, and I'll share personal tips and little stories along the way. I've grouped them into 4 zones to keep the task manageable: bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, and wardrobe and living room. You're welcome to jump between chapters based on what feels most urgent for you. Let's begin this release together, one small let go at a time, and let your home breathe again. Let's start in the bathroom, a small space that often hides a surprising amount of clutter. 1. Hair ties or clips you never reach for. The first thing to declutter in the bathroom is hair ties or clips you never reach for. Those random scrunchies, bare elastic bands, or clips shoved to the back of a drawer, ask yourself, when was the last time I actually used this? Pull everything out and only keep what you truly use daily. I once eliminated more than 20 hair accessories I forgot existed. Suddenly opening that drawer felt calming, not stressful. It's a small act that reduces friction in your morning routine and gives your space breathing room too. Love the ones you keep. 2. Hair products that don't work for you. Number 2, if a shampoo, conditioner, or styling cream sits idle because it irritates your scalp or doesn't suit your hair, you're not obligated to keep it forever. I held on to a conditioner just in case for years. When I passed it along, I felt lighter. Let go of guilt. Offering it to a friend or donating gently used bottles feels freeing. That small release clears shelf space in your mind, making your bathroom feel more intentional. 3. Expired makeup or broken items. Number 3. Look behind that drawer for makeup, past its expiry, cracked compacts, dried mascaras, broken brushes. Even if you spent money on them, if they're no longer safe or useful, it's time to release them. I found 3 vintage lipsticks I kept for memory. Tossing them cleared space and emotional weight. That simple act of letting go can bring surprising clarity. Your counter becomes less crowded, your mirror area calmer. 4. Extra bath mats you never rotate. 4. Having 1 or 2 backup bath mats is reasonable, but if you have more than you use, it's clutter. Examine how many mats your routine truly needs. I pared down from 4 to 2, and suddenly folding and storing them felt meditative instead of messy. Let the extras go, they might serve someone else more. Your linen closet breathes and your rituals feel lighter. 5. Worn out towels you avoid using. The next thing is worn out towels you avoid using. Those towels that are scratchy, faded, stiff, the ones you always avoid, it's a hint. They've outlived their usefulness. Turn them into cleaning rags or donate them if still usable. When I released 3 towels I hated folding, the remaining ones became a soothing moment. Your linen stack will feel more purposeful, more pleasant to handle, less clutter in your everyday life. 6. Old shower curtains or liners past their prime. Number 6. If your liner is stained moldy or full of wear, it no longer serves beauty or function. Having a backup is wise, but not one that worsens. Replacing it and letting go of the old makes your bathroom feel fresh. I swapped mine and felt an immediate visual lift. That small replacement reduces clutter, refreshes the mood, and clears emotional weight you might not notice. 7. Cleaning supplies you never touch. 7 spray scrubs or tools you rarely use quietly pile up. Many lose potency over time. Keep just your favorites, your trusted go-to cleaners, and let the rest go. I cleared 5 bottles of cleaners I forgot I bought. Suddenly, my cleaning shelf felt calm and accessible. That one edit can save decision fatigue and visual noise in your routine. 8. Tiny leftover toiletries or empty bottles. Number 8. Those half-empty lotions, trial-size soaps, or random jars tucked behind others, they quietly crowd your counter. Track them down, use them up, or toss them if stale. I found 10 little tubes I'd never get to. Clearing them made my counter feel crisp and intentional. It's a small release that adds ease each morning. Less visual clutter, more clarity. 1. Old cookbooks you never open. The first thing to declutter in the kitchen is those old cookbooks gathering dust on your shelves that you never seem to open. Cookbooks can feel comforting, full of potential and delicious possibilities. But if they've been sitting on your shelf collecting dust for years, it might be time to be honest. I had over a dozen cookbooks I never once opened, most of them gifts or impulse buys. I always thought one day I'll try something from here, but that day never came. When I cleared them out, I kept only 2. I actually enjoyed flipping through, and I use them now. In this digital age, it's okay to let go of books you don't use. You can still be a great cook without a shelf full of clutter. 2. Mugs you don't actually use. The next thing is mugs you don't actually use. We all have a weakness for cute mugs from gifts, travels, or just random buys that felt right at the time. But soon they multiply, taking up precious space in your cabinets. I had 20 mugs for a household of 2 people, and yet I always reached for the same 3. The rest were too small, too heavy, chipped, or just awkward to hold. When I finally let go of the extras, my cabinet felt spacious and easy to use. Let go of the guilt you don't have to keep a mug just because it was a gift. Keep the ones that feel good in your hands and let the rest go. 3. Tupperware without lids or lids with no container. Tupperware is one of those areas where clutter sneaks in fast. Over time, mismatched lids, old containers, and flimsy takeaway boxes pile up. I used to dread opening that cabinet. Things would fall out, and I could never find what I needed. One weekend, I pulled it all out, matched what I could, recycled the rest, and kept only what stacked neatly. That 20-minute cleanup made every meal prep since then feel easier. A tidy Tupperware drawer might sound small, but it removes friction from daily life, and that matters more than you think. 4. Kitchen gadgets you never touch. Number 4, from avocado slicers to popcorn makers to spiralizers. Kitchen gadgets often seem helpful at first, but many become space-hogging clutter. I bought a panini press thinking I'd use it all the time. It sat untouched for over a year. It was bulky, hard to clean, and I never wanted to get it out. When I let it go, I didn't miss it. I gained shelf space and simplicity. Keep the tools you love and use regularly. The rest are just distractions from what already works for you. 5. Empty jars and bottles you plan to reuse. Number 5, saving jars for someday is such a common habit. I did it for years. They feel useful, right? Like they might become a vase or storage for homemade dressing or a cute craft, but eventually they just pile up and gather dust. I had over 15 empty jars in the back of my cabinet and hadn't used a single one in months. When I recycled most of them, I felt an unexpected relief. If a few bring you joy or genuinely get reused, keep them. But if the collection is just weighing you down, it's okay to let go. 6. Duplicate utensils. You never need multiples of. Do you really need 4 spatulas, 3 ladles, or 5 can openers? I didn't think I had that many until I cleaned out the drawer. Somehow they sneak in through gifts, hand-me-downs, or rushed purchases. I narrowed it down to my favorite versions, 1 strong peeler, 1 flexible spatula, and donated the rest. Now the drawer opens smoothly and I can find what I need in seconds. Decluttering here isn't about living with less for the sake of it, it's about removing the noise so you can cook with ease. 7. Expired spices and pantry items. Thing number 7 is expired spices and pantry items. Spices are sneaky. We buy a jar of cumin for one recipe, then it sits untouched for years. I once found paprika that had expired 5 years earlier. It's easy to forget what's buried in the back of the spice rack or pantry. But expired food not only takes up space, it also creates a low-level anxiety. I cleared my pantry shelf by shelf, checked every date, and tossed what was too old. Now I know exactly what I have and use it more. Even small wins like this can make cooking feel joyful instead of overwhelming. 8. Cookware that frustrates you. 8. That frying pan where everything sticks, the pot with a missing lid, The baking tray that's rusted beyond saving. These items slow you down and drain your energy every time you cook. I used to keep them just in case, but they made cooking feel like a hassle. When I let them go and invested in one good pan, my whole cooking experience changed. Don't settle for tools that make life harder. You deserve items that help, not hinder. 9. Plastic bags overflowing in drawers. Number 9. Most kitchens have that drawer. You know the one. Overflowing with plastic grocery bags or takeout containers we thought we might reuse. While saving a few is practical, keeping dozens becomes a mess. I went through mine, kept 5, and recycled the rest responsibly. Now that drawer actually closes. A small act, yes, but one that removed a daily source of visual noise and gave me back a little sense of control. 10. Dishes or servingware you never use. Item number 10 is dishes or servingware you never use. We often hold on to just-in-case dishes, fancy platters for parties we never throw, or serving bowls that never leave the back of the cupboard. I had a punch bowl I hadn't used in over a decade. When I let it go, nothing about my life got worse, but my cabinet got a lot better. Keep the everyday plates, bowls, and cups you love and use. Let the rest go. Live in a home where they'll be appreciated. You don't need a full dinner party set. If that's not your lifestyle right now, let your kitchen reflect the real you. Now let's dive in with the bedroom and wardrobe area. In yesterday's video, we focused just on the kitchen and how a few small changes there can make daily life so much easier. Today, we're going to open it up and look at 4 main areas of the home together. And if you missed the video from yesterday, I'd love for you to go back and watch it too. 1. Shoes that always give you blisters. The first thing you should consider getting rid of in the bedroom and wardrobe is shoes that always give you blisters. We all have that pair of shoes, the ones that look amazing but leave your feet full of regret. Maybe they pinch rub your heel raw or give you blisters every single time. And yet, you keep them. You tell yourself maybe you'll wear them again for just a short trip or a special occasion. I kept a pair of pointed heels I adored for years, even though I dreaded putting them on. They sat in my closet, reminding me of someone I thought I should be. But when I finally gave them away, it felt like dropping a silent weight. You deserve comfort, ease, and clothes that work with your life now, not ones that fight against it. 2. Old underwear or t-shirts you avoid wearing. Let's talk about that underwear at the bottom of the drawer, the ones that ride up, roll down, or feel stretched out. You never choose them unless you're completely out of clean laundry. Same with those old t-shirts that are stained baggy or scratchy. I had a whole drawer full of May clothes I never liked but kept just in case. But here's the truth, if you don't like wearing it now, you're not going to start. Toss them or repurpose as cleaning cloths. You'll be amazed how good it feels to open your drawer and only see items you actually like. No guilt, no mental clutter, just calm, reliable choices. 3. Sweaters you haven't worn in the last 2 seasons. Thing number 3 is sweaters you haven't worn in the last 2 seasons. They're soft, they were expensive, they were a gift. But if you haven't reached for that sweater in 2 winters, it's probably no longer you. I used to keep a fuzzy gray cardigan just because I felt bad letting it go, even though I didn't like how it fit, and never wore it. Every time I saw it, I'd think, maybe next week. But that week never came. When I finally donated it, I didn't miss it. I just felt relief. Your closet should reflect who you are today, not hold clothes that belong to a version of you from years ago. Letting go of one unworn sweater can create space for something that actually makes you smile. 4. Dressy outfits for a version of your life that doesn't exist. Number 4. You might have a dress you wore once for a wedding or a blazer you bought for a job you no longer have. And while they might have cost good money or hold a memory if they no longer match your current life, it's okay to let them go. I had a little black dress I held onto for 8 years. Every time I saw it, I felt a tiny pang of guilt, like I was failing to live a certain lifestyle. But when I gave it away, I felt free. Not sad, free. The truth is, your clothes should support who you are today, not make you feel like you're not doing enough. 5. Excess hangers that just take up space. Another item worth clearing out is excess hangers that just take up space. Hangers seem harmless, but when you have too many, especially the cheap plastic or wire ones, they end up creating chaos. More hangers mean more temptation to keep extra clothes, even if you don't love them. I once had so many mismatched hangers they tangled together every time I tried to hang a shirt. It made me dread organizing. When I finally donated the extras and kept only what I needed, my closet felt calmer and easier to manage. Stick to hangers that work well and feel good to use. Fewer better tools make every task feel lighter. 6. Old wallets you no longer use. Number 6. We often keep old wallets out of habit, or because we think, what if I need this someday? I had 4 old wallets stored in a drawer, each tied to a different time in life. But I only ever used one. The others were dusty, broken, or simply not my style anymore. When I let them go, I realized I wasn't just clearing clutter, I was letting go of outdated versions of myself. One working wallet is all you need, the rest are just reminders that take up space. And trust me, you won't miss them. 7. Scarves that never leave the shelf. 7 scarves are lovely, but they multiply quickly, especially when you live somewhere chilly or used to. I had a bin full of scarves that I hadn't touched in years. I kept telling myself, maybe this winter. But deep down, I knew which 3 I truly wore. When I let go of the rest, it didn't feel like losing anything. It felt like permission to stop pretending I'd wear them. Your closet doesn't have to hold endless maybe someday items. It can hold only what you really use and still be more than enough. 8. Clothes that don't suit your current climate. Number 8, if you've moved to a warmer place but still have heavy coats, snow boots, or thermal layers you never use. It's time to be honest. I once held onto a full set of winter gear after moving to a tropical city. I thought, what if I travel? But 5 years passed and I never did. That bulky clothing took up space I could have used better. If you don't live that lifestyle anymore, your wardrobe doesn't need to either. Let go of the layers you no longer need and let your closet feel lighter too. 9. Belts that don't fit or suit your style. Belts are one of those things we forget about until we open a drawer and see a tangled mess of cracked leather, out-of-style buckles, or skinny belts that no longer fit. I had 10. I only wore 2. The rest made me feel bad every time I saw them, so I let them go. Now my drawer holds only what I use and I can actually find it. Small items matter. Clearing even a handful of old belts can make your space and your mornings feel calmer. 10. Extra suitcases collecting dust. Travel gear can be bulky, and while it's helpful to have one carry-on and maybe a large suitcase for trips, anything beyond that is usually more burden than benefit. I once kept a broken suitcase in the back of my closet for just in case. But it was stained hard to pull and made packing feel like a chore. When I let it go, I gained back a whole shelf. If you have more suitcases than you use in a year, consider donating or recycling the extras. Give your storage space a breath of fresh air. 11. More sheet sets than you need. Number 11 is more sheet sets than you need. Linen closets are often hiding clutter. We don't notice, especially extra sheets. I used to keep 5 sets for one bed, but I only rotated between 2. The rest were wrinkled, mismatched, or uncomfortable. Letting go of the extras gave me a neater shelf, fewer decisions on laundry day, and more space overall. 1 set on the bed, 1 clean set in the closet, that's enough for most households. Less fabric, more freedom. 12. Decorative pillows that are just in the way pillows seem innocent until they're everywhere. On the floor, in the laundry, blocking the bed. I used to pile 10 pillows on my bed to make it look styled, but in reality, they just made daily life harder. I spent more time moving them than enjoying them. When I downsized to 4, I actually liked my room felt simpler and easier to clean. Ask yourself, do these add joy or just more steps to your day? Keep what you love and say goodbye to the fluff. 13. Excess blankets. Just like with pillows, blankets can also accumulate over time. We tend to hold on to them for sentimental reasons, but at the end of the day, blankets are just blankets. If you have a pile of unused blankets, consider donating or getting rid of a few to free up some space. 1. Artwork that's never been hung. Now we're moving into the living room, the heart of the home, but also a space where clutter can quietly settle in. We're going to talk about 12 things you can let go of in this space. Number 1 is art leaning against walls, stacked in closets, or still in shopping bags. If it hasn't made it onto the wall by now, ask yourself why. I had a beautiful print I bought on vacation, and for 2 years it sat in a corner waiting for the right spot. Every time I looked at it, I felt guilty. Eventually, I gave it to a friend who loved it, and suddenly the space felt less stagnant. If you truly love it, hang it. If you're over it, release it. A blank wall can feel more peaceful than a piece that carries pressure. 2. Packing materials from your last move. Number 2 boxes, bubble wrap tape. We tell ourselves it's smart to keep these, but months or years later, they're still in the corner of the living room or stuffed in closets. I kept mine thinking, they're expensive, I'll use them someday. But that someday never came. Instead, they made my home feel like I hadn't settled in. When I passed them on to a friend who was moving, I cleared not just space, but also the weight of unfinished business. Let your home be for living, not for storing the past. 3. Too many houseplants for your energy level. There are too many houseplants for your energy level. Houseplants are beautiful, but they're also living things that need care. At one point, I had over 20. I told myself they brought peace, but in reality, they became another chore. Some wilted, some attracted bugs, and some just made me feel like I was failing. I pared down to the ones I truly loved and could tend to easily. The room felt lighter instantly, not just physically, but emotionally. Keep what you can care for with love. Plants should support your calm, not drain your energy. 4. Burned out candles and empty jars. If you're like me, you love candles, but also tend to keep the jars long after they've burned out. I used to tell myself I'd repurpose them into storage or decor, but they just piled up on shelves and windowsills. Some still had leftover wax, some were blackened, and none of them brought me joy anymore. One weekend, I cleared them all out. I kept just 2 favorites and recycled the rest. Now my shelves feel clean, intentional, and fresh. Let go of the maybe someday projects and enjoy the clear space. 5. VHS tapes or DVDs you haven't watched in years. Old DVDs, movie box sets, and even VHS tapes, they often hold memories but rarely serve our day-to-day lives. I kept mine for nostalgia but hadn't owned a DVD player in years. When I finally donated them, I realized I hadn't watched any of them in over a decade. If they hold deep meaning, keep a few. But if they're just taking up space in case it's okay to let them go. Streaming has changed how we watch, and your shelves don't need to carry the weight of media you've outgrown. 6. Old phones and tech accessories. We all have that drawer filled with old smartphones, broken earbuds, mystery cords, and outdated chargers. I kept telling myself I might need them, but months turned into years. When I finally took the time to recycle what I could and toss the rest, I felt an immediate lift. Those wires weren't just cluttering the drawer, they were cluttering my peace. Keep one backup if needed, but clear the rest. Simplicity often starts with the small stuff we avoid. 7. Phone cases you no longer use. Number 7, stylish, colorful, protective phone cases pile up over time. I had a collection of 6 for a phone I no longer even owned. They stayed because I thought, what if I want to switch it up again? But the truth is, I never did. When I let them go, I felt silly for keeping them so long, but mostly I felt free. Keep the 1 or 2 you truly love and use. Let go of the rest. Your drawer and your mind will thank you. 8. Old CDs and video games collecting dust, CD towers, video game cases, albums from high school. They sit there for years reminding you of a different time. I held on to mine because they felt like pieces of my identity. But when I finally looked closer, I realized I didn't even own the equipment to play them. I chose a few sentimental favorites to keep in a memory box and donated the rest. Letting go of old media doesn't erase who you were, it just gives more space to who you are now. 9. Decorative items that collect more dust than joy. Number 9. Little figurines, souvenirs, photo frames, mini decor items. They seem harmless, but together they can overwhelm a room. I had over 20 little things on one shelf, and cleaning them became a chore. Worse, they made the space feel cluttered even when it was technically clean. I asked myself, does this still bring me joy? If not, it went. And suddenly, that shelf became a place for breath, not burden. Minimal doesn't mean bare, it means meaningful. 10. Duplicate tools and household items. Number 10, you don't need 3 hammers, 5 scissors, or 2 sets of measuring tape, but somehow they sneak in. I once found 3 sets of the same screwdriver set, just in different drawers. I kept thinking, well, what if I lose one? But the truth is, I never even use them. Now I keep one of each essential and donated the extras. My drawers feel lighter, and finding what I need is no longer a scavenger hunt. Duplicates aren't helpful if they cause stress. 11. Old travel guidebooks and tourist maps. They were useful once, maybe even exciting. But if they're from trips long past and you haven't opened them in years, they've become clutter. I had 5 travel books from countries I might never visit again. When I let them go, I realized I was clearing more than books I was letting go of old expectations. Your memories don't live in printed pages. Keep a journal entry or photo if needed and give the rest permission to leave. 12. Extra vases you never use. And the last thing, every bouquet seems to come with a vase, and before long, your cabinet is full. I used to think, maybe I'll use this for something. But really, I just reached for the same 2 every time. I finally pulled them all out, chose my favorite few, and donated the rest. Suddenly, the space under my sink was usable again. Don't let glass clutter block your peace. Keep what serves you and trust that space matters more than just in case. That's the end of today's video. I hope you're leaving with a little more calm and a little less weight on your shoulders. Remember, every item you release is one less thing to worry about, and that space you're creating is really space for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and if this helped, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe so we can keep simplifying together. And tomorrow we'll go even deeper with a much bigger list that can truly change the way your whole home feels. I can't wait to share it with you. See you then.